A lot of the people from my community have been asking for an updated build on the Greatsword Great Axe. And I thought, you know what, let me just give you the build that I'm going to be using basically until the end of New World, unless they come out with the dual daggers. But it's going to incorporate the Greatsword, the Great Axe, and the Hatchet. All three that work beautifully together. So let's jump right into it. So let's start off with the gear. Right now, I'm running Hatchet, Great Axe, and Great Sword. On my Hatchet, I got Thwarting, Flame, and Keen. This hasn't changed since my last video. This is absolutely flawless. People have actually asked me why I run Keen over anything. Specifically because the crit modifier on the Hatchet is the greatest. I can't remember if it's 1.4 or 1.7, but it's drastically higher than every other weapon in the game. So theoretically, yes, Vicious would be really good, but Keen allows you to get those crits more, and you don't necessarily need Vicious to get that high crit modifier. For the Greatsword, I somehow managed to get this from my Scarab rolls. Thwarting Strikes, Flame Attunement, Keenly Jagged, an absolute fucking gem. I'll go more into the reason why Keenly Jagged is so great on this later. But for now, onto the Great Axe. The Great Axe is Enfeebling Maelstrom, Thwarting Strikes, Chain. This is really for that bursty clump damage. If I don't end up killing them, I either switch to my Great Sword or Hatchet. Either one of the combinations works out in the end, but it's really good. As for my Ruin Glass, I run Opals with the Frozen, I guess you would call it attunement, but I don't know, which deals 8% ice damage per second for 2 seconds. Now, the reason why I went with this is overall, you're only losing 3% of damage per swing, but you're gaining 8% per second. So the trade-off is definitely great, especially on the Greatsword with that keenly jagged. You're getting 2 just off the weapon alone, not including any of the skill tree bumps, which we'll get into. And also for the Great Axe, it's also nice to have that. But on to the gear. We got 5-piece Shirking Fort, 5-piece Resil. For my helmet, I have Crippling Feral Rush. For my gloves, I have Refreshing Torrent. Unfortunately, I had to drop my Gravwell for the regular pants, so I can get that 5-piece Shirking Fort, 5-piece Resil. I'm attempting to get them on my boots. I'm attempting to get Shirking Fort, Resil, Gravwell, but right now I think I made the ultimate decision that Gravwell comes after Shirking Fort, Resil. You really want Shirking Fort, Resil because that survivability is absolutely insane. But if we look at the rest of it, you can see I don't have any Great Sword perks. Mainly because I opted that they're more utility rather than actual damage output. If you want to go for them, I suggest you do. They're a little bit expensive and hard to get, so I'm opting out for it. But I'm definitely going to be trying to get Gravwell on my boots instead of Vigor, because that will be a lot better. For my jewelry, same thing as the last build video: Divine Health, Shirking Empower, Mortal Empowerment, Leeching Slash. As you know, slash damage for Hatchet, Great Sword, and Great Axe, they're all slash damage they're all slash damage, so I get 5% off of every single weapon, which is absolutely huge. And my earring, Refreshing Ward, Refreshing Toast Regen, pretty standard for any bruiser. So now let's take a look at the weapon trees. So starting off, we're going to go look at Hatchet, Great Axe. Nothing has changed about them from the previous build video. They're the exact same, but for people who haven't seen it, this is what I run. This is pretty standard. If you don't run Charge, you run Reap. I personally prefer Reap over anything. Instead of running away or charging, I just pull them closer to me, and I get a lot more damage than I would from either Whirlwind or Charge. But onto the Great Sword, this is where it gets interesting, and this is why I said the bleed and the damage over time is absolutely insane. We're going to start with the Defiance tree because I don't go too much into it, but we got hitting a target with a final attack, reduces chains, durations, debuffs, all that good stuff. We got base damage is increased every buff I have. I got a lot of buffs from my greatsword, but most importantly, I get bleed every time I heavy attack, and I can get 25%. So if you do the math, you could get 25% off of this for bleed, 10% off of Keenly Jagged, and then 8% off of the Ruined Glass Gem, which damage over time, that's like 400 to 600 every second, which is absolutely insane, and the damage that you're doing is ridiculous. What's important though is that you get in the Onslaught tree, basically the entire Onslaught tree, and the reason why I say this is because you get Rend, you get Disease, you get Empowered, and it's just absolutely insane. If I can find it, you get 1 Empowered for dodging, you get 1 for using Relentless Rush. From doing Skyward Slash, you get Rend and Disease, and then you just finish up with Crosscut, which does an absolute amount of damage. And on top of that, you get a built-in refreshing move, which is absolutely insane. Cooldowns are coming off within 5 seconds. Absolutely insane. Specifically for this video, I'm not going to have any gameplay of it because I actually have some gameplay coming up in a video this week, which is going to be a war video to show how well it can perform. It's going to be a real good video. Let's just put it that way. One of my top highlights in wars, because it's just such a overpowering build, and it's not, I wouldn't say it contributes more than just killing. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't really stun lock. It doesn't really do anything for your team. It's mainly just trying to empower yourself to get the kills. But either way, this is a crazy build. One thing I do have to say is after dueling and fighting 1v1, there is a big weakness to this build, and that is stun lock. I went against one of my company mates who was sword, shield, hammer, and he would basically chunk me for 80% of my health before I could even react because of the stun lock, and that like 3-4k HP that I had left, I was able to basically bring him down to 3k 2k HP afterwards, but it was just, I was just so low to the point that I couldn't retaliate. So be careful about that. Like I said before, this is mainly just dish out damage, get your cooldowns back, find a new target, dish out damage, but it's absolutely amazing. I hope you guys find this video helpful. Let me know in the comments if you think I missed anything or I can improve upon the build in any way. I like having these discussions about min-maxing builds, but as of right now, I think the only thing that I'm going to try and get is the Gravwell on my boots. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, take care, and I'll talk to y'all later.